Shalom, this is Levi Shore. Welcome back to Sweet and Good Torah. Okay, today we're going to learn about the 6 constant mitzvahs. Very exciting. So out of the 613, out of the total of the 613 mitzvahs, there's 6 of the mitzvahs, the Sheis mitzvos tamidim, the 6 constant mitzvahs. And these mitzvahs you can do all the time. You can do them anywhere. They don't cost anything to do. And the reward is infinite. The reward doesn't even fit into this world. It will only fit into Olam Haba. And the other great thing about these mitzvahs is the more you do these mitzvahs, you're going to be calmer. You're going to be more relaxed. You're going to see the world clear. And in the age of fake news and disinformation, it's very important to actually be able to see clearly. You won't be able to be tricked and you won't be led astray. And it has many amazing benefits that it's going to do for you. So the first one, the first of the 6 mitzvahs, is knowing there is a God, knowing that Hashem exists. So how does this help you? How does this help you knowing Hashem exists? First thing, you're going to feel more gratitude. When you see the beautiful sunrise in the morning, you're going to know that it was created just for you, that there's a God that created for you, that when you have life, you've been given this life. You're going to feel more connected. When someone gives you a great present, it makes you feel good, and you appreciate it, and you feel like someone, loves you. And knowing that there's someone there that's giving you these amazing gifts every day, that's creating a world just for you, that's creating all these beautiful things. If you don't know there's a God, and it's raining, you're like, it's raining. But if you know there's a God, you start to see things differently. You start to see, okay, Hashem wanted to bring rain today. And, maybe I didn't want it to rain today. Maybe there's something I wanted to do. But that rain is going to create beautiful grass and flowers and trees and all this beautiful produce that we're getting. And it's going to benefit us down the road. So knowing there's a God is the key. It's the first. And every time you do this, every time you look around, and every time you feel and you think and you study and you learn and you see that that Hashem exists, you're doing this mitzvah. And it's very easy to do, and the more you do it, the more you're going to, and you're not going to be led astray. I mean, this crazy pseudoscience and this evolution, all this nonsense. I'm sorry if you don't know it's nonsense. Look into it. It is nonsense. But we're not going to go into all that right now. So the next mitzvah is second of the second mitzvahs. This is a really big one for nowadays in this age of fake news and disinfo. Don't believe in any other powers. Hashem is creating everything. Hashem is creating the tov, the good. Hashem is creating the ra, the bad. Hashem is the one running the world, because it's very easy to start to think that, this government or this world leader or this president or this prime minister or, this secret society, or this, or even, they say the Jewish people are running the world, and we're not running the world. Now, why it may appear that we are running the world is because Hashem is running the world, and we're attached to Hashem, and we're Hashem's people. So there are things happening for us, and because of us, and sometimes against us, and maybe it appears that we're running the world, but this is so important, and I fall into this all the time. You're not going to get so agitated over this president or this, politician, and I make this mistake all the time also. If you understand that it's only Hashem that's making all the decisions, and even though there's democracy and everyone's voting, Hashem is the one that's making the decision. We can see this clearly with Brexit. Hashem specifically made it rain in the areas where the people that were, against Brexit couldn't get to the polls, and then the people who wanted to vote for Brexit, they could get to the polls. And all these things always happen. And with Donald Trump, all the polls said he would never win. And if you like him or hate him, it doesn't matter, because Hashem picked him, just as Hashem picked Obama, just as Hashem picked President Bush. All the presidents, Hashem's picking them, no matter if it's democracy, no matter even if it's a dictatorship, because the whole world is being led on to one ultimate goal. And eventually, when everyone sees the unity, that there is only one infinite being that's controlling everything, then there'll be total clarity and there won't be any confusion. But do not believe that any group, any philosophy, any ideology, communism's not running the world, capitalism's not running the world, this political group's not running the world. The more you get caught up into thinking that these people are running the world, you begin to get agitated. Are some of these people doing bad things? Yeah. Are some of their decisions maybe not so helpful to people? Yeah, but it's only Hashem that's determining how much those decisions affect you or don't affect you. And the more that you concentrate that only Hashem and no other power, Ein Od Levado. This is the key. Is the third parak of Rabbi Chaim Volozhin's Nefesh HaChaim, and this can create miraculous things. The more you concentrate on Hashem, Hu HaElokim Ein Od Levado, that Hashem, the loving, forgiving power of Hashem, and also the judgment, the din of Hashem are the same. It's one infinite being, and there's nothing else. And miraculous things can happen. I think it was the Brisker Rav who was escaping the Nazis, and he focused on this, and he kept saying to himself, he said, Hashem, Hu HaElokim, Ein Od Levado, and he focused that only Hashem is running everything. And then some miraculous things happened, like the Nazis looked at their papers, and their papers weren't right, but they looked at them like they were good papers, and they were being chased, and then the Nazis disappeared, and Hashem can even change the tab. The more you focus on it, it says in the Gemara that no kishuf, no magic can affect a person. No other group can affect you. No leader can affect you. Only Hashem is in control, and this is maybe one of the hardest ones for us right now, that Hashem is the only power. There are no other powers here on earth. There are no powers in Shemaim, all the Malachim, the Shindalids, anything. None of those Malachs control it. People are so worried. Sometimes I hear other religious groups are always, the devil, the devil. The Yetzer Hara is an Eved. He's a servant of Hashem. He works for Hashem. He's one of Hashem's many servants, not in control. Only Hashem's in control. Okay, so we've touched on this a little bit already. The third one is that Hashem is one. There's only one unity. That all the good and all the bad, the Tov V'Ra, it all comes from Hashem. So even though some things happen to me, I think they're good. Some things that happen to me, I think they're bad. But all of it is only for one purpose. There's one unity that is sending all these things into the world. And all of it, and all the world events, and everything is pushing the world into the Yemot HaMashiach, the days of Mashiach. May it come very soon. And then the world will see with more clarity that everything's coming for the good. And we make a bracha, we make a blessing. When something good happens to us, we make a blessing on the Tov U'Meitiv, the good and the better, the making of the good. And when something bad happens, we say, Bruch Dayan Hayemes, that Hashem is the true judge. Because we see things that are very bad, sad to us, and we say that, we remind ourselves that Hashem is the true judge. And when things good happen, we make a Tov U'Meitiv, or a Shechianu sometimes. And in the future, after Mashiach and after the world sees with clarity, we'll see that everything is for the good, and then we'll make a Tov U'Meitiv on everything. But right now, it's hard to see. I mean, we live in this age of there is a spiritual darkness. There's so much misinformation, so many lies every day, but everything is coming from one unified source. Hashem is this infinite unity that runs throughout everything, everywhere, infinite, Ein Sof, beyond us. Okay. Number 4, love Hashem. Love God. Okay, so this is very interesting. I was thinking about this. When a child finally grasps that their parent, even if their parent was buying them a gift or rewarding them or punishing them, when the child finally takes into his heart and his mind the understanding that everything that parent is doing is only because that parent loves them, they begin to have this great love, which just goes all throughout their body, this warm feeling that knowing that parent loves them. And then all of a sudden, the punishments don't seem so bad because the child knows the parent's only punishing them to make them better, to help them. And then the rewards even seem better because you don't get spoiled in the reward because you know that you have a parent that loves you. We have an Avinu b'Shamayim, we have our Father in heaven. And when we truly see that Hashem is doing everything, Hashem created this world just for us. Every sunrise, every sunset, all the animals are for us to enjoy and learn from. All the mazalos, the constellations we can look into, and it tells us all world events. But Hashem gave us the Torah, so we can do the mitzvah, so we can learn everything the world is about and what life's about, and he did it all for us. And when we get that we have a parent that loves us, then we have a true love. We have a havas Hashem. We have the true love of Hashem, and when we feel that, we're going to feel so much more connected to everyone else. We're going to have a love for everyone else. We're going to feel closer to our family and our friends and our coworkers. When we feel that we are connected to that infinite being, that heals it all. And that Havas Hashem we can constantly be working on. And when we see it, you're going to feel better. I know I feel better when I do it. Always we can do this mitzvah. Now, number 5 is Yiras Hashem. Have a fear of Hashem, but more it's almost respect Hashem. Okay, so is there a yirah? Is there a fear? Yeah, there should be a fear, because this is an infinite being that no one can stand up to, that controls everything. He controls if we have life every day. He controls if all our organs, if our bodies work, if our soul's connected to our bodies. He controls these mighty hurricanes and storms and snow and everything. He controls it. So we should have a fear of transgressing the word of Hashem. And there is a lack. There is a real lack of Yiras Hashem. There's a lack of fear of Hashem. People feel like they can do anything, transgress anything. Everything they believe is permitted. Nothing, people are angry. The propaganda that goes against, how dare you say we can't do something. Even if it's bad, we will do it. We want to do it. It's like, you must bend and say it's good. No, because there's no Yiras Hashem. But it's also a deeper level. When you really have it, you get a respect of Hashem. When you see that Hashem is the tzaddik, he runs the world with perfect justice, that he is a chesed, he is full of kindness and giving, you begin to have a respect. So if there's ever someone that you really, really respected, you see when you go to meet that person, you want to dress up nicer. You want to be on your best behavior. You want to say things that make you seem intelligent and wise and kind. When you're in front of that person, you want to be your best. You may act with your friends, you may act like a goofball, but when you go in front of that person you really respect, you want to be on your best behavior. And I think everyone has that one person or some people in their lives that are like that. There's that one person. Even some people have it about someone they haven't even met. But if they ever met that person, they would be on their best behavior. But we should have this Yiras Hashem. We should be terrified of transgressing, because it's bad for us. If we do an Avera, it's bad for us. We may not feel the effects of it immediately, but it's bad for us. It's like going off a path of good. But when you really lock it in and feel this respect for Hashem, and you don't want to do anything because you respect Hashem's word, and you know that breaking that word is not good for you. And number 6, and this is hard too, because we live in the age of temptation and taiva, desire. Number 6 is, don't be misled by your heart and your eyes. So first you see something and you want it, and think about how all advertising works. They're showing you this beautiful car, whatever it is, this food, that's that. You got to have this technology, that. It's constantly a world of taiva and advertising and mass marketing, and we're constantly being shown what we need to have, what we want to have, and it's not true, and it blurs our perception of the world. When we just have taivas and desires, and when we're led by our desires, we become slaves to our desires, and we don't see the world clearly. And a free person is not a person that lives in a capitalistic society and can buy anything he wants or she wants. That actually is a slave to that society. But a truly free person is the master of his own desires. And a truly free person he controls his desires as opposed to his desires controlling him. And that is why it's so important not to be led astray by our emotions, and we freak out. And you won't be freaking out like, I gotta have this, I gotta have that. You see, you have what you need right now, and maybe there is something that can be helpful to you. Of course, you need food, you need a place to live. There's certain essentials of what you do need. But do you need the most extravagant of this, the most extravagant of that? That you may not. And definitely there's things that we have that we really don't need. We have houses, and then we fill those houses, or even apartments, we fill them with gashmias, with all these physical things. And we can strip it down, and we can see what we really need. But we will see the world clearly. The more we do these 6 mitzvahs, we see the world clearly, we feel better, we feel more connected to Hashem, we're not being misled, we're not freaking out over every news report, because we're taking a step back and seeing that Hashem's running the world. And B'ezrat Hashem, may Hashem send Mashiach quickly. Mashiach Tzidkenu, may Hashem send him quickly so we can all see the world with clarity. But these 6 mitzvahs will give us so much more clarity now in these times of fake news and disinformation. All right, all the best. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope to see you again on Sweet and Good Torah.